Hello and welcome to the EFL Fantasy Podcast. My name is Jamie,
My name is Dan.
and Angus has, I nearly swore then, gone on holiday. I hope he's having a lovely time. He's left me and Dan to it. How are you, Dan?
Yeah, not bad. Um, Bit unusual being in the Premier League and not having, well, Tuesday or Wednesday nights. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, boring. You don't want any of that. Today's episode, obviously, we're going to review Game Week 7, which was the midweek games. We're not going to do a review as we normally would. Those who have listened to the Super League pod, we're going to do, well, we're going to copy it really, not similar. We've got two key points each that we'd like to discuss. And then we'll just go into the Twitter questions and just basically cover everything off that you need because it is a short turnaround. We're recording at 9:45 on Thursday night, so just before game week 8. So we just want to get something out for you guys to listen to. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. We'll just go through our scores from game week 7. How did you do, Dan?
Uh, Bit of a disappointing one. Uh, Only got 57. Uh, my transfer was Potts in for ranking Costello, which worked quite well considering I think he came on as sub and got booked or something like that. So
Yeah,
that was a good transfer. Um, I had Piero captain for four, Broadhead vice for one. Rotation affected that. Clark 17, Dieng 4, as I mentioned, Potts 6, Stacey 1, Manning 4, Somerville came off the bench for 7, Sarah 2, Dewsbury Hall came off the bench for 9, and Armstrong 2. So considering some of my players didn't play, including my Vice, I dropped about 10 spots to 94. So I'm quite happy to still be in the top 100 with two boosts left. So I felt I got away with it a little bit.
yeah. To be fair, I'd be quite happy with that score considering I know you had
Yeah.
Broadhead benched and he was your vice captain, but Somerville obviously he came on early because of the injury to Gnotto.
Yeah.
And then Dewsbury all coming on and
Dewsbury
getting an
Hill.
assist as well and bonus. So it was like you've done really well there. To be fair, it's been an absolutely brutal week for some people. Um, what can you do? It's just one of those, and it's one of those crazy game weeks, which we'll get
Yeah.
into shortly. I had a really good week, and this is actually my first green arrow of the season. I had a really good game week 1 where I was like 38th, and then it's been red arrows since. So I got 79. Dieng for Ailing, who I brought in for Hoover for 7. Manning and Walker Peters. Yes, I do still have double Southampton defence. A 4 and a 6 from those. Row 1, Sarah 2. So that was my disappointments in midfield. Dewsbury 9. A vice captain Swift for 9, which obviously I'm happy with a goal, but he went off after about 58 minutes, I think it was, so he got no bonus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went off then. Clark, captain, which really got me the good week, to be fair. 34 points for him. And then Broadhead 1, Armstrong 2. So, good week for me. I went from like 689th up to 344th, and I've still got 3 boosts in hand, so yeah, can't complain about that. Pod team, I'll be honest, I have no apps. I haven't got a clue how we did with the pod team. Do you?
Um, oh, I don't, to be honest.
No,
I
Angus
can't
is the
even
admin.
remember. My mind's gone blank.
Yeah, Angus is the admin. So if we ever get kicked out the game for having two teams, it's Angus who's going to get kicked out because it's technically he's got two teams, not us, Dan. But yeah, I'm sure we'll give you an update on that, or the guys on Gaffr. They'll probably give an update on that. Right, key topics, Sam. We've got two each. What's your first one, Dan?
Um, my first one is rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were some players that we thought were like near enough 90 to 100% nailed and they got rested. Probably Dewsbury Hall was the biggest surprise.
That was my
Um,
biggest surprise. Well, with it being Norwich as well.
yeah, that's the big. Yeah, that's. I was really, really shocked. You know, when you're looking at the teams and you like certain players, you don't even bother checking
Yeah, because they're always
because you
there.
know, yeah, they're going to play. And then someone was like, "Geez, we always missing." I was like, "What?" And then I thought, "Is he even in the squads?" But he was. He was on the bench. But yeah, like I said, I was quite happy to get him. Um, Others that were bench, Barley Mumba, Morgan Whittaker, Hart. Like Plymouth made 7 changes, and I'm thinking you're not going to be able to do that in the Championship
No.
and get away with it. They got hammered against Bristol City. Um, Somerville. I was worried with the Leeds mids. Like I thought one of Somerville Nonto would miss out because they got Dan James and Anthony. I was worried, but the upside's so big for them that you sort of have to risk it. Broadhead as well for Ipswich. Like you want these players to play because you think they're going to score well, and then like a lot of people had like 3 or 4 players just not starting. Rankin Costello missed out, but I think we sort of expected that. So, did you get hit with rotation badly yet, Jamie?
Um, no, not really. I've got ranking Stella, but I benched him anyway. It was
Yeah,
Broadhead in Dewsbury Hall. Um, but considering how everybody's got them, well, especially Dewsbury Hall, I kind of thought I
yeah,
wasn't really that bothered about it because I knew everybody else was going to be affected. So
yeah.
Broadhead is a bit different because some are on Chaplin rather than Broadhead. So and then obviously he returned, so that's quite annoying. But what can you do about it, really?
Like, does it make you wary of some of those players? Like I don't know if you were planning on getting Mumba and at some points, weren't you?
I was, but the way I look at Plymouth, I think what Hardy, Whittaker, and Mumba, all three were bench, weren't they? I kind of think,
Yeah.
you know, not they've thrown the game, but if they thought, right, this is the one where we'll just get the rotation out of the way, give them a rest, back for the weekend, because who have they got at the weekend? I'm going to guess it's a home fixture.
Home to Norwich.
So it's not really like you're saving them for like
Yeah,
a winnable game at home, is it?
yeah. Like they're good at home, aren't they? We've
Yeah.
seen them got to play quite well at home, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won. But I can understand benching one, but all three, and yeah, that was if they carry on doing that, like picking and choosing in 3 game weeks, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare.
I think the benefit, though, especially for us Gaffr players, is I might be wrong, but I swear I read at the beginning of the well in pre-season, there's only 7 midweeks this season, which is less than normal. So obviously there's
Yeah,
not as many to go against, but I just think it seems to be a common theme throughout like the whole league this week. Well, this past week, where everybody seems to have done it, where they thought, right, this is our chance now. Because they've had League Cup games as well, haven't they? Where they'd have rotated as
yeah,
well.
but they just had 2 weeks off for international break.
That is true.
Like that's what surprised me the most.
But there's all this
But
sports science and all that kind of thing now, isn't it? Where it's like FIFA, it tells you what percentage of fitness each player is, or something like that. No, I'm not too concerned, especially with like Mumba, Broadhead, Dewsbury,
Shrewsbury Hall,
definitely. The key players, aren't they? It's not like they've just
yeah,
got the place in the team. I think the key players, and I think get it out the way. We should be okay for a couple of weeks. You'd hope. Do you think there'll be rotation this
yeah,
weekend though, with it being the third game of the week?
it might be. But I struggled to see like even Piero because of the red card, he came off at the hour mark, so you'd like to think he'll be okay. Can Southampton rotate out of fitness, or is that just because they're not playing well? Like
I don't think
we'll
they're
get
in
on
a
to Adam
position to
Armstrong in a
do
bit.
that, are they? Really?
Yeah.
Pressure's going to be
Um
on Martin,
I'm
and it's
guessing
Middlesbrough's way. as well, which, looking at the league table, how Middlesbrough started, you've got to
Yeah.
be looking at that game and thinking we need 3 points here.
Maybe someone, from Ipswich, maybe like a Chaplin gets rest, but don't change your team. But from what I'm saying, I haven't got a clue if they will do.
No, and that's a good point, actually. Obviously, we don't know, but they've got that many forwards.
Yeah.
Jackson could easily come in, Hurst, Ladapo. Do they then, it depends on Davis' injury, because obviously Williams went straight in there. Do they go an extra midfielder? Do they go two up front? Because Chaplin
Yeah.
plays really as a 10, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's like, will Somerville play again? Because they wanted to rest him, and then he basically played 70 odd minutes, didn't he? I think
Yeah, I think
so.
it was about half
Yeah.
an hour in, just before half an hour, wasn't it, when he come on?
Yeah, 70, yeah. But when you think of added on time and things
Yeah,
like that, I'm not, I'm just gonna, someone that I am a bit worried, maybe Rowe from Norwich.
he went off at half time, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's annoying. That's annoying because we've all gone for his value more than anything, and obviously he had that streak and he just kept returning. So he's become one of the 5 midfielders. But how long was that ever going to last? It wasn't going to last forever, was it?
yeah,
And then people like myself, there'll be lots of people who are playing midfield dynamos. Can you play that with him? Obviously, it's only one game.
yeah,
He's gone off at half time in one game, but he does regularly go off there, I believe.
yeah. Also, Ashley Barnes injured now, isn't he?
Yeah, so
So there's a
there's
spot.
one of the forwards. Yeah, Sargent out. You think Ida comes in? There's a chance. The thing is, we're just speculating, but we just wanted to bring up
Yeah, don't
because,
listen to us. Yeah,
yeah, no, it is a talking point because we don't know. But what can you do? I think the only thing you can do is just carry on, and if it bites you, it bites you. Just make sure you've got a bench. Like, I was planning on playing a boost this week. That was before all this rotation in midweek. So then I was thinking, oh god, it's the third game of the week. Can I risk it? I think I should be okay. Um, yeah, I'm just what can you do if it happens? It happens, doesn't it? It's going to
yeah.
affect everybody, not just yourself. So yeah. Anything else you'd like to cover on the rotation worries?
No, no, not really.
Right. Okay. My key point is, are defenders shit this year? Um, Short answer is yes. They're not getting us any points, but I thought I'd go out my comfort zone and look at some stats. Now, these aren't groundbreaking stats. These aren't stats that you can't find. Everybody can find these very easily. But if you can't be bothered, like I normally can't, I'm going to go through them for you. So, defenders. We've got Leif Davies, who's probably the best defender in the game, injured. And just to timestamp this, like I've already said, it's 10 o'clock Thursday night. We don't know. We've had no updates, have we, on his injury?
No, I don't think so.
So we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So my advice is on Friday. Is it Saturday deadline? Saturday, isn't it?
Friday dead then. But Birmingham QPR.
Oh, okay. Friday, just keep an eye out on news. Ipswich press conferences. That's all I can advise. Yeah, with him being out, Manning frustrating a lot of people. Um, and basically nobody else really is there scoring a lot of points from defence. So I thought I'd go through some key stats just to see who's the best really, and just see if that helps you make a decision on who to bring in. Because I know there is a lot of questions regarding defenders, which we'll go through at the end. So, sorry if I bore you to death. I will try to get through it as quick as possible. Key passes per game, Dan. So, top of the pile with 3.2. No surprise, Davis. Manning is there at 2.4. Mumba, 1.7. Ailing, 1.7. And De Silva from Coventry at 1.4. Any surprises there, Dan?
Probably not the top four. The silver sneaking in probably is a bit of surprise. I've not really watched too much Coventry this year.
Yeah, same.
So yeah,
But with their
that's
good
someone to
fixture
add.
run, which we will discuss at some point for
Yeah,
this podcast, that's quite promising. Big chances created. So there's three players who've got the most with three. Um, Britain,
Yeah.
Sirkin, and Best. Just for reference, Davies comes in with two. So those three doing really well with big chances created. Expected assists, Manning 1.92. He's got two. Britain's in this one again, 1.62. He's already got himself one. Perry and G 1.17. He's already got an assist. Kyle Walker Peters 1.14. He's got zero assists. Davies with two assists already, with an expected XA of 1.11. Any surprises there?
I don't know. Is it a surprise having the Southampton boys in there?
Don't think so. They just obviously haven't been keeping clean sheets and then getting yellow cards and
Yeah,
stuff to stop the bonus. I think Britain being in that and top of big chances created is quite interesting,
yeah.
considering
It's
he's then
interesting, but
keeping ranking Costello out the team.
yeah, that's what I was going to mention.
So I found that really
Yeah,
interesting. Um, and then last one is how many times a player has got bonus points. So it's not bonus points accumulated, it's how many games out the seven they've actually got bonus points. So no surprise, top of it is Leif Davis. He's received bonus points 5 games out of seven, and considering he didn't even play in one of them, so 5 and 6. Perry and G is on this one as well. He's got into bonus 3 times. Wolfendean at Ipswich 3 times. Ayling 3 times. Hughes and Potts from Preston have both got in there 3 times. Then there's a list of probably about 15 who have got in there twice, but they were the key ones. And then just team wise, clean sheets: Ipswich 4, Leeds, Watford, and Millwall 3 clean sheets so far. Southampton, Middlesbrough, Swansea, and Rotherham with 0. Um, Anything in there interest you, Dan, or have I just bored you to death for nothing? You won't offend me.
think don't know. I think it's interesting um, that there's no like Norwich, no Leicester.
Yeah, I think Stacey, if I remembered, only got in bonus once, I want to say.
He's got a couple of bookings, so I think,
Yes,
and obviously they've
Ricardo.
had high scoring games.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Ricardo's got in there twice, I believe. But yeah, I what I found interesting was obviously Davis is walking away with everything. Really, he's in there for everything. We know that. Callum Britton's the most interesting one to me because, like we've just said, he's keeping ranking Costello out the team, but he is doing well on the stats. So that might be worth monitoring if you've still got ranking Costello. But is it too sideways?
The Preston lads seem to be doing quite well as well. I'm glad I went for Potts this week.
Yeah, Potts. See, I completely discarded Potts. Because that you know what I'm like when I watch a game and I see I'm just not
It's
convinced on
just
Preston.
Preston.
Yeah, and it's not just them. And I know everyone who's listened to the pod from day one will know my issue with Preston. It's not actually that now. I've got over that. But obviously they beat us 2-0 at our place, penalty, and scored on the count. They weren't very good at all. So that sticks with me. So I can't get out my head that
Yeah.
they're gonna fall off soon. Yeah, remember last year when they had all them nil-nils. So, but Potts being in bonus 3 times. Hughes, I don't think I'd consider that because that Miller,
Scored 2 goals, doesn't he? He scored 2 goals in Hughes, centre
yes,
back.
and Miller then gone left. He has played left wing back and left centre back, hasn't he?
Who, Hughes?
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's
more
more of a
left centre.
centre back, isn't he?
But obviously, you want to wing back, but Miller's there. But Brady's back now as well. I've noticed over the last 2 games.
No. Yeah, they were playing best there as well, but he's a youngster, and he so
Yeah.
um yeah, that's why I went for the right side because obviously they brought in Ramsey and he's injured. That's why I went a bit more security with Potts on the right.
So I've gone through the stats there with defenders. if you were on a overall now, it would be your five defenders. Let's say four. Let's say Davies isn't out long term because everyone's going to have him
Yeah,
anyway. So four defenders.
probably. So I'm gonna say Manny. He's gonna play, right? It's so frustrating. I'd probably
If you're
have.
on
I'm still gonna
overall,
have
you'd
Manny.
still have him.
Not sure about that. I'd have a Preston. I'd have Potts.
Yeah.
I'd have Ayling, Davis, and the other two. I think they're up in the air. To be honest,
Yeah, see, like,
is there anyone?
if I was on overall, I wouldn't have Manning. But, like, how I am at the moment, I've only just got rid of Hoover, who was dropped. Obviously, Ranky
Yeah,
Costello isn't playing. I've got Davies. So I'm literally playing Kyle Walker-Peters and Manning just due to I need defenders playing. But if I was on overall, Davies is the first one. Ayling is my second choice. I think I would go Potts now, which is really annoying
yeah.
because I should have gone there before.
I've got Steve. I've got Stacey. I'm happy having him. I think like Birmingham defenders. I know they're not showing up, but I think I know Laird was doing really well
Before
until
his
he got
injury.
injured. Yeah. So maybe if he's out long term, Drame might be an option. He done well at Luton. Um, and then there's loads though. Mumba is obviously playing left wing. Um, De Silva, you mentioned Coventry. So there are loads. It's just there's no outstanding ones, I think. So maybe it's the time to take a punt, I think.
So that'd be pretty template if Davis isn't injured. Potts, Alien, and Davis, I think, will become quite template. And then you, like you say, you can take a punt on the two. Like them four categories there, you got Perry and G, Alien, Britton, and Manning, who
Yeah.
come in two of the four. So they're definitely one. Mumba's interesting because what I have noticed is when Plymouth win, he normally receives top bonus. So their home form is worth keeping an eye on. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think you could take a punt on a couple of them, and I think that will make it more interesting. But yeah, that's defenders. Your second topic, Dan?
So my second topic, it's normally a weekly topic. It's normally let's talk about Southampton. Um, Armstrong, he
Yeah.
started the season well. I think he's on 4 goals. I know a couple of them were penalties. But he's been playing basically centre mid since what, the Plymouth game?
Is it 3 games now? Is it that he's played there?
Three or
Because I
four,
remember, I
yeah.
remember after the
And
first time, we were actually quite excited about it, thinking this might benefit him. But is it
yeah,
benefiting
because
him?
he done. I don't think it is now. One that I'm not convinced he can play that position. So it the balance of the centre mid isn't right. They've tried Stuart Armstrong, Downs, Childs, Alcaraz. They can't seem to get the right balance in there. Um, it looks like it's clear they want to play Che Adams up front. Um, we've mentioned me and Angus. I've mentioned, and I know in the chat, why aren't they just trying three at the back?
Yeah.
You've got two of the best strikers in the league. Just play Armstrong and Adams up front.
Considering the wing
It's
backs you've got
crazy.
as well,
Yeah,
they'd
Manning.
flourish under that system, I think. And I know
Yeah,
like they're making mistakes playing out from the back, but they actually have got ball playing centre backs, so it kind of like
yeah.
everything's pointing at just play that.
So I've got Armstrong, and I feel like I'm in a position. I don't have many fires, luckily. I know people do, especially in defence, where I'm debating getting rid of Armstrong. Like, I know it's Middlesbrough and it can come back to bite me, but I've not overly been impressed, especially if he's playing centre mid. So uh, you haven't, don't you, Jamie?
Yeah, and like I said earlier on, there's no chance I'm selling him before Middlesbrough. But then when I think about it now and I'm listening to you, it's like I probably would, because I don't play for fixtures really anyway in this game. I'll try and pick
Yeah,
form. And then if I'm looking at playing a boost, I've got midfield dynamos in triple triple in mind. Really, I'd want Armstrong to be one of my triple triples, but playing in that position, can I really trust him with an armband? I know it's Middlesbrough,
yeah,
but I don't think so. And I'm also tied up. I've got no budget whatsoever because I've got Swift, Clark, and Armstrong plus two premium defenders. So I really need budget, and I think that
and
would.
you don't have Piero, right?
No, I've got no leads other than Ailing now. I've been put like I didn't go there. Got away with it that week when you got played your boost. I got away with that massively.
Yeah,
Got hurt by pros last Sunday against Millwall.
yeah,
That
it's
hurt me a
brace.
little bit. But then, yeah, I need funds, so Armstrong's the obvious one, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to list a few players. Um, I think Birmingham, Stansfield up front. He's come in, done. I think he's got two or three goals now. He's doing well. It's just whether you want to drop that far. I think Matty Godden is doing well, scoring a lot of goals. He seems to be the main man.
Yeah.
Um, I don't hate going for Rutter for Leeds.
No.
If you go Piero and Rutter, I don't hate that, especially if you haven't got a midfielder. I think that would be interesting. It's a shame we don't know the Leicester striker, like
Yes.
the rotation in there. Like if you knew it was Iñárritu, even if he was coming off 70, 75 minutes, I think that would be appealing. Um, Maybe Adam for Norwich. As I said, no Barnes, no Sargent, so I wonder if he gets a go. Um, Maybe Hardy or Whitaker for Plymouth. I know they've got Norwich this week, but they're pretty attacking at home. Um, Maybe just go from Armstrong to Che Adams. You've got to find a bit of money.
See, we know Ianacho and Che they're going to be options at some point throughout the season, but I just couldn't go there right now. I'd be more leaning, I'd lean more towards Ianacho than I would Che Adams. Which, if you asked me after game
Yeah,
week 2, I'd have said if they both stay in Adams. Um,
yeah,
but at the moment, but I think my number one target because I need to get on Leeds, and it's not me being my usual self and being stubborn and trying to go against Perot, but Rutter is the one that I want. Since
yeah,
Perot, I think just looking at this here, I think Perot was it the Ipswich game, Perot's first game for Leeds.
yeah.
I'm
It
gonna guess
was.
it was. Um, they both scored in that game. Both got 3 bonus points. None of them scored, and I've gone on dark mode and I can't see that. They 0-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. Rutter got 2 bonus points, so Pro got nothing. In the next game against Millwall, obviously Pro got 2 goals, Rutter got one, but Rutter got the assist and got 4 bonus compared to Pro's 3. And then Rutter got 3 bonus in the last game. So in the last 5 games, Rutter's picked up points, whether it's bonus or assists or goals. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that me being stubborn? I don't think it is. I think there's logic in there. So that's where I'd
There's
go.
logic. Well,
But
yeah,
I,
I don't hate it.
I'm not a Neo kind of guy. But I do realise if I go Rutter and Pro bags, the majority of the game has got Pro. So I'll be slipping
Yeah,
down the overalls again. But
I think I like having both because a lot of people have Somerville or Nonto. Having the two strikers might be a bit interesting because there's loads of midfield
could be,
options.
yeah.
But I don't hate that.
But Somerville's numbers from when he does play are very good.
Yeah,
So I've got my eye on him as well. I think that's my route to Leeds, and then I'll be on triple because I've got Ailing. Um, but we've covered like Leeds. They're kind of like premium forwards, aren't they? If you've mentioned a few names there, but if you were going to go right down, you'd reckon the best option is it Stanfield at Birmingham? You like the look of him?
I like the look of him. think Dembele's back in training or will be soon, so that'll help Stansfield out. Got QPR, Huddersfield, and West Brom in the next four. Birmingham, so I don't hate that. Um, all right, the Plymouth. I don't hate like a Hardy. He's scoring goals.
Yes, and he gets a lot of
Um,
bonus as well.
maybe the Watford striker.
Now
I
he's
think
in
he's he looked
Rajovic or
Rakovic.
something like
Yeah,
that. He's interesting,
yeah,
especially from that mad game against Coventry. And then I missed the highlights of that one at the weekend. He scored late, didn't he? Um,
yeah.
yeah, Watford are quite interesting to me actually, and we'll see.
They're not interesting
I'm
to
not
me.
ready yet to go there, but yeah, I am looking at
Yeah,
that. Any others?
I think that's I've listed about what 8 to 10. I think that's enough. There's
For,
options.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to sell him this week, Adam Armstrong?
8 or 9.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, that is interesting. I don't think I'm that high, but yeah, seriously considering
It's because I haven't got anything else to do, so I want to sort of attack it.
well,
Like I said, I've been quite fortunate.
and you're using your own logic from it, though, aren't you? You've seen him in that position. You don't like it. He hasn't
Yeah.
returned. Has he actually returned since he's played in that position? Did he score? I think it was penalty
I'm,
once. It.
did he assist? Yeah, I can't remember. He hasn't done much for the last. He'll probably go off now. They'll probably play him up front, and I'll get punished.
Good two
But
up
yeah,
front. But that's the thing, though. That's
yeah,
what we have got to, I think, bear in mind. It's not going so well for Southampton at the moment. Martin has got to change something, whether that's just a change of tactics, keep the formation, you know, sat this playing out from the back rubbish that they can't do at the moment, and just because when they dominate the ball, they're good, but from the back, it's just Jesus Christ. So,
yeah,
but they could switch formation, and if they go two up front, though, I think that would get tasty quite
yeah. Then
quickly
I'm
with
worried.
Adams and Armstrong, and then I think we're going to have some decisions to make between the two, but we're not at that moment yet. We can only see what's in front of us. Right, my last topic then is kind of stat based again, but not really. Midfielders. A couple of questions about what midfielders to get, planning for the midfield dynamo. So I've just done something really simple. I've just looked at the teams who I think have got the next best four fixtures, and then looked at the best midfield options from each of them teams. So I've come up with 6 teams. Sunderland, and they've got Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday, Watford, and Middlesbrough. Really good fixtures for them. Norwich have got Plymouth away, Birmingham, Swansea, and Coventry. Leicester have got Bristol City, Blackburn, Preston at home. I think is a winnable fixture. And Stoke, Leeds got Watford. They do go away to Southampton, but at the moment, I wouldn't be too worried about that. QPR, Bristol City. Ipswich have got Blackburn, Huddersfield, Hull, and Preston at home. And then Coventry, a really good set for Huddersfield at home, QPR away, Blackburn at home, and then Norwich at home. So, just looking at the midfielders from those 6 teams only, and I've got 4 categories: expected assists, expected goals, big chances created, and key passes. Okay, so Sunderland, for expected assists is Clark. Not most of these are not going to be surprising. I'll be honest. We might pick one or two interesting ones up. Clark 1.72, 2.81 xg, so it's Clark again. Big chances created as Pritchard with 3. Wouldn't have
He
expected
doesn't
that.
start always.
Exactly, yeah. So, but Roberts is fit again, come off the bench, didn't he?
Yeah,
So
he's definitely been in the squad.
I wouldn't read too much into that. Pritchard, key passes, Clark 2.6. Um, Actually, I'll just go through each. Expected assists. So Norwich is Sari, 2.89. Dewsbury Hall, 2.54. Somerville, 1.36. Burns, 2.0. And Eccles at 1.05, so it's not quite so big. Coventry,
He's on might be on some set pieces,
set
Eccles, I
pieces.
think.
So that's what will boost him up a little bit then. Expected goals. For Norwich, could you guess Norwich's?
Oh, I don't know. Fashionette?
No.
I don't know.
Row 1.49.
Oh,
This one will. I don't think you'll get this unless you've looked at it previously. Leicester's best XG midfielder.
Ndidi.
I know why you know it's not. It's McAteer 2.47, which I found interesting
Yeah,
because he
he's
started the season
he's
and he looked like he got dropped, and I thought, oh, we're not going to see him for a while now. But he's come back in the
he's
team,
scored
done
two
well.
in two.
Yeah, so he is
Yeah,
interesting, especially considering I think Mavadidi's probably the second Leicester asset that's popular in the community. I found that quite
yeah.
interesting. Leeds is James 1.49. Ipswich Burns. Spoiler alert, they're all Burns because all the other options are all forwards. And then Coventry's Palmer at 0.74. Big chances created. Sarah 5. Dewsbury all 6. Those two are ridiculous for that. Somerville for Leeds with 2. Burns 2 for Ipswich. Palmer 2. And then lastly, key passes. Sarah 4 per game. These are 4.1. Dewsbury all 3.7. Somerville there again for Leeds 2.8. Burns 2.4. And Ayari for Coventry at 2.3. So he's recently just got in the team, so
Yeah.
he's worth looking at. Now I know they weren't groundbreaking stats, Dan. But just looking at those teams, do you agree with those 6 teams in terms of the next 4 fixtures?
Yeah, as I mentioned, maybe add a Birmingham in there or something like that. Assets are a bit cheaper. Maybe an Anderson or Dembele if he gets back in the side could be interesting.
Yes, why didn't I put Birmingham? It was because of the Norwich away game
Or the
in
Norwich
game week
game.
9.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
other than that, though, QPR, Huddersfield, and West Brom at home, I wouldn't worry about that fixture either. Yeah, Anderson's impressed me this season, but Dembele coming back from injury, that might be a big one. Um, who do you think then from those? Who are the ones people should be looking for? Let's go to this overall scenario. Okay, 5 midfielders. You're on overall right now. Who are you picking? Let's
I
base
think
it
it's
on those like the really good fixtures, not long term, just like short term.
yeah. Uh, I'd probably get. It's probably pretty close to the midfield. I've got currently Clark, Sarah, Dewsbury Hall, Somerville, and Rowe. Probably.
I think the only one I would change out of that, I'd want Somerville in. I'd probably get rid of Rowe.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I've got Clark, got Sarr, Dewsbury or Somerville, so you got one of them. Burns, I don't think I'd go there. I know Angus has mentioned him. Um, yeah, he is doing okay, but I'd much rather have a Chaplin or
He
a
might be
Broadhead.
injured. He might be injured at the minute.
Well, that's not ideal, is it? So we're not looking at
What
Ipswich
about what
midfielder.
about Casey Palmer?
Well, I was just going to say, really, I'd like to take a punt on. Well, it's not really a punt. Get a Coventry asset in there for that run. I think Huddersfield, QPR, Blackburn, and Norwich is a 4 are really good. I know that Norwich game is a bit more difficult, but they could build momentum going into that and home fixture. Um, I'm a fan of Palmer. I like him as a player. As a Gaffr asset,
It's a bit flaky, isn't he?
yeah, you don't know when the next injury is going to come. So that's my own
Yeah.
concern. Ayari getting, what is he, 2.3 keeper passes, 8 key passes per game. It's interesting, but I need to see a bit more from him before
Yeah.
I'd even consider it. Um, Ackles, I'm not going to go there. So, unfortunately, I'd probably look elsewhere. And then, like, De Silva obviously came up in the defenders. But yeah, that I thought that would be quite interesting, or might help those people who are asking about the best midfielders to get. Um, Obviously, play your own way. I don't want to tell you get which exact players to get, but I think they are the teams you should be looking at. Whether you double up or triple up on any of them, that's entirely up to you. But anything else that you'd want to cover regarding that, Dan?
No, no, I think that's pretty much covered it.
Right, shall we get into the Twitter questions because there's like 17 of them. No, I don't want to sound ungrateful, guys. Like, we do appreciate you submitting your questions in and listening every week and all that. But when I saw 17, I was like, gotta be joking me here from a midweek one. But we have covered most of them. That's why we did the key points. So hopefully that was helpful. But I will read the questions out of courtesy, just to say thank you for submitting them. But we will skip straight past them if we've covered them. So first question, Dan. Auto reclose. Is it just me, or is the standard and the championship being dreadful so far, or have I just been unlucky with the games I've chosen to watch?
Um, I don't know really. I think some games have been very weird to watch. Like that Leicester game we mentioned the other day.
Yeah,
Like it's like they didn't want to defend for the. It's some of them have been a bit bonkers. I think what will happen is though maybe after the next international break, everything will settle down a bit. Like you're already starting to see teams get together like Sunderland, are moving up the table. Leeds are gradually getting up there. It'll be interesting to see if Preston and Ipswich can keep up their form. But I struggle to see anyone winning the league apart from Leicester, to be honest.
no, I completely agree with you. I think I have the pleasure of watching Stoke every week, so I'd say that I wouldn't say the standards dropped there because it's always been that bad when I watch Stoke. But I know I get what he means. Southampton haven't started great like we expected. Leicester slipped up into Hull, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
no, but I've heard there's been some good football, been some crap football, some crazy football. But this is why we love this league. It's a
yeah.
lot less predictable than the Premier League. Um, John Jaco, start Hazard or Dieng this weekend? I don't think it makes a difference, does it?
Not really.
Southampton and
Dieng. I'd go Dieng, I think.
yeah, I just give up now. I don't know who I'm starting. I think it's Dieng at the moment over Lazaki. Whoever's in the starting 11 is just going to stay there now because every time I try to change it, one will get like 3 points, the other one will get like five.
Two.
Yeah, or I
Yeah.
just can't be arsed with it. I'm not scoring major points from it, so I'm not even going to worry about it anymore. Um, Cheeky gets asked another question, but it's a good question, so I'll read it out. Noodles or fried rice from the Chinese?
Fried rice for me. I
Yeah.
know. I'll let Jamie go into detail.
No fried rice because like chow mein, what I love, I'm quite boring when it comes to Chinese because it costs a fucking arm and a leg to order Chinese. I have the same thing because I don't want to risk it and I don't like it and I need a mortgage. So I have the same chow mein, fried rice, chips, chicken balls, curry sauce, simple. But the prawn crackers is so much
Yeah,
better with the fried rice with the curry sauce on than the chow mein. So yeah,
yeah.
fried rice for me all time. Next question. Renarid, Gnotto and Manning got to go. Who to SO, Owen Clark, Dewsbury Hall and Rowe. So I think we've covered, the
We
replacements.
covered this.
But in terms of selling, are they got to go?
I think. Well, Nonto might be injured, so
Well, he came off,
he.
didn't he? So you'd think so.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep Manning,
I am because
keeping him.
I'm not going overall. I have got issues, but
Yeah,
I haven't got too many. So he's a playing defender in the way I see it. In he got me 4 points, so I can't complain.
yeah,
But we've looked at his numbers. Once they stop fucking about and passing out from the back to the opposition and giving fouls away, we'll be okay. We'll be rolling. So yeah, not to check his injury status tomorrow, Pete. Manning. Yeah, it depends on what other fires you've got. If you haven't got many, then I'd say yes. Or if you have, keep him. Mal Stars, I think this is the first question from Mal because I've never seen this name before. Best defenders to bring in with regards to next few weeks fixtures, and best forwards to replace Armstrong or Ugbo with. So I think we've covered that, haven't we?
covered this one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that helped, Mal. Gaffr Hoops, what are your thoughts on Adam Armstrong? Um, who was in many of our teams but playing for an underperforming Southampton team and seems to be playing deeper at the start of the season. So yeah, we've covered that one for you, Gaffr Hoops. This guy I always gets his name wrong. Um, Joachim Geens. He's the guy with Creswell on his picture, like the back of his shirt. He's asked questions before. So sorry for ruining your name again. Um,
Yakin, is it?
Yakim,
Yakin.
we'll go with that. Dan, sounds better than my attempts. You salvaged that there. He's asked, I'm planning to play midfield dynamos. Clark, Rowe, Sarah. I think you mean Sarah.
So,
Autocorrect to Sarah.
in June.
And Dewsbury all in my team. I have 7.4 to spend on a fifth midfielder. Who's the best option?
All right, let me have a look.
Is it Rowe? Under 7.4? Right,
Yeah,
this is really
I
bad
don't hate
audio
it.
now for everyone, but me and Dan are basically just going on the transfer section on Gaffer now.
Do you know what? I've liked Sammy Smodics for a while. I know they're away to Ipswich. I don't hate Sammy
Two
Smodics.
to missing me. Who've Watford got this weekend?
Way to Leeds.
Uh, I don't know if
Do you
he's
want to
playing
say
it this.
Martin?
Yeah, Martins, yeah, because like Angus say, he loves a shot. He's always in bonus. Got a return,
Yeah,
obviously. I don't know if he's playing it this week. If it's not and it's soon, I'd definitely consider Martins. Rowe. Um,
maybe double up on Sunderland.
yeah, but who would you go there?
So
Because he's
go
only got
Clark
7.4.
Bellingham.
I'm not a fan of him as a Gaffer asset. I'll be honest. I'd be more interested in like Anderson, Smodics, like you said. Kish Anderson.
Palmer, Coventry.
Yeah, good little punt. Um, McAteer at Leicester's only 6.
Yeah,
If he's
he might get rested though.
Yeah, he might do, but he's in the team at the moment, scoring as
But
well.
he's you're
Can't
playing it.
drop him.
You're playing a you're playing a boost though, aren't you?
Yeah, you're
And you
right.
need
I
to
would
make
rather a
sure.
dead cert. I will be honest. It would be a fun punt though, because if that came off, it's a really good
Yeah, it
differential.
would. Yeah,
Big fan of that. Patino, but Swansea really struggling. I know he's putting up good numbers, but yeah, I think that's a couple there for you if that's helpful. Oscar, football Oscar, is TT a viable option this week for me? Now he's got them on Clark, at home to Cardiff, Dewsbury Hall, at home to Bristol City, and Sarah away at Plymouth. It's
yeah, yeah. I'd have to play that.
But he's also got Chaplin in his team, at home to Blackburn, Perot at home to Watford. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
you could
I'd
play it.
play it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Right, Sean Linness. Has he asked questions recently? I haven't seen his name in ages. He's the Luton fan, isn't he?
Yeah, top bloke,
Top
top
bloke.
team.
um, right, yeah. Name from the past. Right, Sean. Best goalkeeper to replace Dieng with. 7 weeks of patience is wearing thin. Budget is not an issue.
I really don't think a, a goalkeeper transfer is that important. Would you change it?
No, I wouldn't. I'll be honest. I'm going to look now. I haven't even looked at goalkeepers, but like the top scoring goalkeepers, everyone's within like 10 points or so. Like there's just literally nothing in it. O'Leary at 4.6 on 33 points, but Hadaki's on 31 points. He's 4.1. Where is Dieng? Oh, he is quite low down. He is on 18 points. But it depends who his subkeeper is. Just play that one.
Yeah,
Like even if it's like Hazard, he's on 28 points. Hadaki's on 31 points. Yeah, I wouldn't waste a transfer on it if I'm honest, Sean. FPL Frog. Armstrong to Chaplin a good move, or should we be giving Saints more time? Did you mention Chaplin earlier
no,
on?
I didn't actually, because everyone might have Broadhead, but yeah, Chaplin's he started scoring now, and he
Yeah.
took him a while, but he's scoring now.
He's
I
involved
know
a lot
you
as well.
like
And see,
Chaplin.
yeah, I do like Chaplin. He's involved a lot as well. Yeah, I think that's definitely. You're seeing some more time. You're not having that, are you, Dan? You've seen enough. You're getting rid.
I've had enough.
Right.
Getting rid.
FPL Commander, help. I'm forever fighting defensive fires recently. Join the club, mate. Jamal Lewis now gone, but I still got Davies and Hoover with zero point 0.5 in the bank. My three remaining defenders are Alien, Rankin Costello, and
Oh, God.
Kakai. Should I roll, or is there a better option for the two problem players? So I think Davies is see how we, wait for an update tomorrow
Keeping Davis, yeah.
or today, whenever you
Hoover's
listen to
got to
this.
go, right?
Yeah, I sold him this week. Just gone. He's dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crap. Basically, he's a good Gaffr asset. He can get you a good haul, but yeah, he's crap. So he's been dropped now. So I'd sell him now. Yeah.
I
Editor
think I'd
best.
do
Gone.
Hoover and sorry, I'd do Hoover and Ranking Casello out. I think
Yeah, take the
there's
-4.
no guarantee. There's no problem. Is Davis is injured? Do you really want to play Kakai every week?
Yeah, true.
Like I've got him and he's
But he's
cheap,
your third sub though, isn't he?
but yeah, I think I'd do a -4
Yeah, I
unless
agree.
you know Ranking Casello's going to play.
But yeah, which we don't at the moment, so there's no idea.
Yeah,
Editor has asked best way to find team news before Friday deadline. Somebody's missing Angus already. Um,
yeah,
I could tell you the answer to that actually, because I used to do it before Angus. It's a ball like basically club Twitter accounts to follow the press conference. Go on the website. What I found easiest was local journalists. You can find them easy
yeah,
with most of them are like Stokes for example is Stoke on Trent Live. Most of them are something live, aren't they? City. A couple of them are like the Borough Gazette and stuff like that. But yeah, you'll find it's easy enough to find. It's just a ball like if you're trying to find a lot of it, like Angus has to find 24 teams worth of it. But if you're just
yeah.
finding one or two, it is easy enough to find. FPL Clem, two questions, cheeky get. Who will win the next Ballon d'Or and why is it Jack Clark?
I mean, he's playing well, isn't he? He
He's
must
playing
be
very well. I'd be surprised if a Premier
got to
League club
keep him
doesn't
in
come in for
January.
him in January.
Got to keep him.
He is looking very, very good. And best
It's going to
midfielder,
cost over.
gone.
It's going to cost like 20 odd million, isn't he? 20, 25
Yeah,
million.
easily.
Jack Clark. He's got a long contract.
He'll be worth. He's definitely a Premier League player. He's definitely one in there. Best
Yeah,
midfielder to replace Frock, yeah, Jensen. So we've covered it really, haven't we? Is there anyone
yeah.
you'd recommend out of them teams? We've got
Like a
Gav, don't we? Haven't
Birmingham
we?
punt.
Anderson,
Yeah,
Maguire.
we've named it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay then. Ian Ridley got Laird, Davies, and Manning. Who to sell first, and is it worth holding on to either of Laird or Davies until they are fit? My other defenders are Strauch and Rankin Costello.
wow.
Is Laird out
Well,
for a couple of weeks, isn't he?
yeah, he had a setback, I think.
So he's definitely got to go.
He's got, yeah, you got to keep Manning out of those now.
Yeah, and
Manning, I
Davies.
think keep it. I'd do -4 and get rid of Laird and Rankin Costello.
Yeah, but what if Davies is out for a long time? Well, not a long time, but say a few weeks. We've got to get rid then, haven't we?
Yeah, but I'd risk keeping him,
Yeah,
and because Manning will play and Stroke will play, so you need to get one. You could just do one transfer, but you're having to play Manning with no cover. I probably to get rid of Laird, maybe bench Ranking Costello. So even if you need him, you might get the odd point and wait because Manning's strike, and your new defender will play.
perfect.
So Laird first.
Right, Jasker and Singh. Have a midfield of Clark, Rowe, Sara, Dewsbury, and Loser. Is a good time to play MD chip. Also, can you suggest a loser replacement up to 9.5 considering the chip? Well, firstly, it's a boost. Call it the right name, please. No, I'm only joking. I've not seen his name before, so I don't want to offend him. I think loser replace. We've covered him, haven't we? Basically, everyone
Yeah.
we've mentioned throughout the podcast is a good enough option. And I think it's a good week to play the MD chip boost. God, I've even said chip now. FPL Chubbs, best 6 mil or less defender or less to own going forward. Sub 6 defender.
We've done this.
Yeah, covered them all. Name cannot be blank. Burns to McAteer, can't afford Mavadidi, or is Leif Davies a transfer out this week? So, firstly, what we said already with Davies, wait till Friday, try to find out an update. Burns to McAteer, though, we talked him up as a bit of a punt, but if you're not playing a booster,
Don't
Dan,
hate
would you
it.
be more interested?
Yeah, I think I would. As long as you got decent bench options.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I don't
I'm
mind that.
talking myself into buying McAteer now. And I don't know why. I'm just well up for people doing that. If you do, make sure you tag me in. If he hauls, make sure you tag me so I can see that you did it.
Yeah.
Right, Niall Fairbrother, last question. Who would you suggest bringing in for Leif Davies if he's injured long term? Another Ipswich defender or someone else? I know we've covered someone else. Would you bring in another Ipswich defender?
No.
Harry
No, I
Clark,
wouldn't.
last two, I think. I haven't got it in front of me, but I was looking earlier on. Harry Clark's worth keeping an eye on if Davies is out long term. If you do want an Ipswich defender, I don't myself, but he's picking up bonus, so he is worth a watch. And that is a wrap, Dan. I'll be honest. We said half an hour to 45 minutes before we recorded. We said 45 max. It's 57 minutes. But I do think we've covered everything quite well.
Yeah, we did.
Whether it was
Yeah.
well or not, I don't know, but we have covered everything. So hopefully, this was a help to everybody ahead of game week 8. And that is a wrap. Yeah, this Sunday, I think, game week 8 review. It'll be me and Dan again. Angus is away still in America. We're just wary of Coventry playing on Monday. So we don't know if we're going to record Sunday night or Tuesday night.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. We'll let you know on Twitter. Angus is the admin of the Twitter account, but I've now got the details, so I'll tweet something out. Or I'll ask Angus. It's not like he's disappeared. He is still online most of the day. Yeah, but that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Please do, give us a like, subscribe, a retweet, just something.
5 stars.
Yeah. Considering we ask this every week, and the amount of people that watch or listen to us, we don't get anywhere near enough activity on social media for it. It's a joke, if I'm honest with you. It's a sick joke, and it needs rectifying. Yeah, please do that, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.